This is the 8th video of the short course on effective data collection. My name is Douglas Amenya, a researcher at DataTrax Research Limited. This short course has been funded by DataTrax Research Limited. In our previous video, we did look at the MISI framework. In this video, we shall be looking at closed versus open-ended questions. Every question on a survey will be either a closed or open-ended question. This means that closed and open-ended questions are at the core of our survey design. It is important to know the difference between closed and open-ended questions and when to use each. What is the difference between closed and open-ended questions? Closed-ended questions have a defined closed set of responses. This means that respondents only have a limited number of options for this answer to the question. Closed-ended questions come in a multitude of forms, but they are often in the form of multiple choice, that is either single or multiple select, scale, or dichotomous questions. Let's take out some few examples of closed-ended questions. How old are you? A person can only choose between what has been given. I'm less than 20 years old, 21 to 40 years old, or over 40 years old. The second question is, do you feel better today than yesterday? The options which are given from which a person can choose are only three. Yes, no, I feel the same. In contrast, open-ended questions do not have a defined set of responses. This means that the set of possible responses is infinite, so respondents can provide any answer they like. Open-ended questions are generally in the form of narrative or text questions. Let's take out some few examples of open-ended questions. How old are you? Do you feel better today than yesterday? These are open-ended questions because the answers to these questions are not predetermined like they were previously. So, when should we use open-ended questions? In general, open-ended questions are useful for qualitative research, learning more information about a topic, and surveys with small sample sizes. There are four main cases when open-ended questions should be used. And what are these cases? When we are doing a preliminary research, when we have expert interviews, surveys with a small sample size, and also the end of any survey. Let's look at the first one, preliminary research. It is often helpful to conduct preliminary research to learn more about your problem before conducting your final survey. Open-ended questions are a key component of preliminary research since you generally want to know the answers that you will receive. What of expert interviews? Experts usually know more about a subject than you will, so it is useful to use open-ended questions to get as much information as possible. Limiting experts to a predetermined set of responses with closed-ended questions will be less productive than giving them freedom to demonstrate their knowledge and talk at length. The third is surveys with a small sample size. For a large number of respondents, it is difficult to read and analyze the answers to open-ended questions. Open-ended questions can often lead to responses of several sentences or paragraphs. Comparing these answers across dozens or hundreds of respondents is extremely difficult and time-consuming. However, This becomes much easier if you are conducting a survey with a small sample size. Let's take a sample size of 20 respondents. For small sample sizes, open-ended questions are a great way to solicit more detailed information in a way that is still analyzable. And finally, when the end of a survey. The end of a survey is the perfect place to include an open-ended question. No matter how well designed a survey is, it can never account for all the possible opinions and data. Including an open-ended question at the end of a survey will allow respondents to share extra information, opinions, or concerns. So giving respondents the freedom to include additional information or comments is also a good way to show respect for the time and effort they have taken in completing the survey. And also so for closed questions, we use for closed questions, they should be used for easy analysis and reporting of the data that you are actually collecting. In our next video, we shall be looking at sampling your population. My name is Douglas Amenya. See you then.